Bigbld finger tricks. So the first thing I'm going to cover is the turning for centers on Bigbld. So X centers for both 4 blind and 5 blind, and the plus centers for 5 blind. So the first thing I'm going to cover is the slices on the M axis. So that's going to be R slices, L slices, and M slices on a 5x5. So as you saw, you're pretty much going to execute these all in the same way, as 2 moves, either starting with a wide move like this, or starting with an outer move like this. And for finger tricking double moves, you're going to bring your entire wrist down like this, or the other way. Another thing is, for these M-axis slice moves, you have complete freedom of which hand does the slice move. So what I like to do is just use my right hand to do R moves and left hand to do L moves. And since I'm righty dominant, I'd use my right hand to do M moves. But some people might prefer to use their right hand also to do L moves, or even using their left hand to do R moves. Next up is going to be U slices. So you're mostly going to be finger tricking these as an index pull with either hand. This is essentially a U-wide move, but you're holding the U layer in place like this. And for double flicks, you're going to do them with index middle like this, with either hand. Next is going to be D moves. So you're going to finger trick these either with index or middle to pull in this direction, and in the other direction you'll use your thumb to pull like this. And while you're doing that, you'll be holding the U wide like this, so that it doesn't move. And for stability purposes, it's recommended to only use a single hand for the D slices. And the same thing will apply to E moves on 5x5. Then double flick like this with index middle. Another thing for D moves is that you'll often be doing them simultaneously with U layer turns. So that's going to be like this if they're in the same direction, thumb and then the other index. And then the inverse of that is like this, with like either finger doing the D move and pushing like this. And if they go in different directions, it's pretty simple, just like this, 2 pulls. And then the other direction, you could do thumb and push, or just use your other hand for D moves. And that's it for center turning. F slices and B slices aren't really used for centers, so I'm not going to cover those here. S slices are used, but it's pretty simple. You're just going to be pulling for both directions. Wings. First is going to be R and L slices for wings. So it's basically going to be the same as R and L slices on centers. You're going to execute it as 2 moves, like this, or starting with the outer move. Now the difference in wings is that the order in which you do the moves, either wide first or outer first, actually matters because of grip reasons. Essentially, in centers, you'll always be doing your R slices, I guess, from home grip. So you see this? You're not doing any like full R slices out of home grip. But for wings, let's say I come like this, you're doing the R slice outside of home grip. And that actually matters because let's say you try to do the wide move first. This is really awkward, so you'll have to do the outer move first to make that comm more comfortable. Now the trick I use to remember which direction the R slice goes is, if I'm in home grip, it doesn't actually matter where it goes, but if I'm in a mixed grip, say like this, the hand outside home grip goes towards the other one for the first move. So in this case, I'm doing an R. So I'm going to start with an R prime, then R wide. And you see that from here, the thumb goes towards the other one. And another example, it goes towards the other thumb. And then for double moves, again, it's the same thing, like this, or the other way. Then if your hands are like this, it goes there, and from here it goes like this. That should be pretty intuitive. And similarly to centers, either hand can be doing the slice. And again, from home grip, it doesn't really matter which hand does the move, but if one of your hands is out of position, it's better to use that one to do the slice move. So let's say you have this comm. Since your right hand is out of position, it's weird to do the slice with the L move, so it's simpler to just do it with your right hand. And here it's okay to do it with your left hand. And all of this will also apply to M slices for midges. For wing parity algs, you're going to be finger tricking your R and L slices by flicking like this. Similarly to M moves on a 3x3. This is because flick moves are actually faster, but because you're doing a lot of mixed moves in a blind solve, it's more efficient to just do 2 moves for better flow. But since you're only doing a single wing parity alg at the end of the solve, it's actually faster to just do that with flicks, so... Next up is going to be U moves. So, if you're in home grip, you'll be executing U moves the same way as in centers, using either index. But since wings are special, you'll often be out of grip, and then it's better to use your middle, like this. A helpful way to think about these is copying the finger tricks of a similar edge comm. So let's take this one as an example. The similar edge comm uses the same finger tricks, using middle for all of the E slices. Next up is D moves, which you execute like this. And in the other grip. And double flicking like this with pinky ring. Similarly to how the U-move comms will copy the finger tricks to a similar edge comm, D-move comms will copy the finger tricks for a similar corner comm. So let's take this as an example. On a 4x4 for wings, that would just look like this. Lastly are F and B slices, which are very simple. You're just going to be pulling with your index in both directions. Same thing with B slices. And make sure to hold the other layer while doing this. So with the B slice, you're holding the F layer like that. And that's it for this video on Bigbld slice finger tricks. So I decided to make this since I noticed there aren't really any modern resources for a good Bigbld finger tricks. And even this video itself probably has a lot of holes in it, but I think it does cover most of the important stuff, which is important. If you have any questions, I have a comment section, and I recommend that you join the Blind Solvers Discord, which will be linked in the description. That's where I learned most of these finger tricks, and that's where most of the discussion on this type of stuff happens, so I think that would be useful. Anyways, goodbye for a second time. This video is going to end.